Alright, y'all, look, same intro. As always, if you're new here, nothing on here is scripted. These are conversations I have with myself, my homies, just free form, organic conversation, get ideas, thoughts, concepts, like everything like that up in the air. If I ain't say it in the intro before the intro, best way to enjoy this is like podcast style, just listening in the background, probably while you doing something else or whatever. Ain't gonna be a whole lot visually going on the screen. Now, I watched season 2 and 3 of Invincible. I actually watched it and finished it probably closer, damn near a month ago, like a few weeks ago. Life been hitting, also been procrastinating, but I'm not letting myself watch season 4 until I record this shit. So it's not scripted, but I'm gonna kind of section it off into different points I want to get to, just because talking about all of season 2 into season 3, linear one, I don't I don't want to fuck up because I don't remember the exact order this shit went in, and also it's kind of disingenuous because of the way that these things connect to each other. I kind of have to talk about it out of order. So look, first thing I want to get to, man, is some of the conversations, nuances, and symbolisms that I think some people missed, or it's just a point of conversation that they made. So if y'all have watched some other videos, I love reaction videos. I watch reaction videos all the time. It's like just cool, especially if it's people you fuck with. It's like, it's like the equivalent of showing your homie something for the first time and seeing their reaction, you know what I'm saying? And people in the comments or whatever, they pick up on things you might not notice and shit. But when it comes to the Thraxans, okay, I want to get to the Thraxans. It is very intelligent for the writers. I have not read the Invincible comics, so I don't know if this worked in the same linear fashion. Either way, whatever writers did this, to have Omni-Man do what he did on Earth and then show us the Thraxans is brilliant. And this is why. Because I've seen some people, when the Thraxans were getting slaughtered, when Mark had to leave them and shit, they were like, oh, I don't really care about y'all too much. Which, I guess, to be fair, we didn't spend a lot of time with them for you to build a care for them. But here's the thing. Some people are like, well, y'all only live a year anyway, or whatever. Y'all niggas missed the point. Because you can't... Shit, my bad, camera fucked up. But y'all missed the point, because that's how Nolan looks at humans. So you can't, now granted, isn't you not having an emotional attachment to the Thraxans and Nolan slaughtering people is nowhere near an apples to apples. But to act as if their life is less meaningful because of their lifespan and us not having an attachment to them, that's the same mindset as the Viltrumites. That's the same mindset as Nolan. So it's a dope thing that they had us all in uproar, right, about Nolan calling Debbie a pet, saying that this was a speck in the span of his life, that, what's 17 more years, and all this, you know what I'm saying, just all this other shit, that human lives are meaningless and fleeting, and saying all those things. And then you show us someone, because if Nolan lives for thousands of years and the average human is dying at like 75, and even the oldest of us is tapping out at like 105, and probably not even a healthy one, that's not even a tenth. Thousands of years, that 8,000, even if it was 1,000 years, that's still a crazy disparity. If he lives for thousands of years, then yes, us to him, that is a pet. That's damn near a mosquito. You feel me? So then you show us someone who is about, 1/7 of our lifespan, 1 year, and let's say we average out to like 70 something years old. Then people will then in turn look at them like, oh, okay, well, y'all gonna die anyway. So it's a commentary and a very dope comparison, or just like juxtaposition to show how meaningful life is for life forms in general, but especially just intelligent life forms that feel, think, and create, no matter their lifespan, what they look like, and everything else. So that's just a dope way of putting that, and without it being spelled out for you, like, you really have to kind of think about that. So that is a dope comparison, or just a dope way to put that shit and spin that shit. So I definitely, and it's not too far removed. It's like we meet the Thraxans episode 4, so yeah, it's like we like 4 or 5 episodes removed from the tragedy, so that's super dope. The next thing is the no-kill rule. Now, my point of contention, because there's some people who are like, Mark, just kill these niggas, kill them, or whatever, Mark, you weak as fuck, all this other shit, This is where I land on a no-kill rule. Is like, so let's talk about Batman, because Batman's like one of the most famous, the poster child of the no kill rule, right? When it comes to Batman, since most of his villains are um what's it called? Most of his villains are, one, not planetary threats or anything, but victims of some form of tragedy or mental illness or something. And some of them he created, such as Two-Face. You know, he feels responsible for Red Hood, even though he's an anti-hero. And some of them have good intentions, like Ra's al Ghul. Bane, not really good intentions, more so honorable intentions, you know, but, you know, like Ra's al Ghul wants to save the planet, everything else, you know, yada, yada. You know, it's cool for him to just lock them up, in my opinion. Like, you don't need to kill, you know, Croc's definitely a threat, but you don't need to kill Croc, Bane, whatever. The ones who have no, you know, no objective other than pure chaos and no conscience, kill them niggas. So I'm like, Joker needs to go. Like, he's doing this for the love of the game and for nothing else to get the attention of Batman. Victor Zsasz needs to go. He has broke himself out of Arkham just to kill someone and then bring himself right back in. No money, no noble intentions, no point to prove. He really just thinks life is meaningless and he's liberating people of life. That's a psycho. He's just a straight serial killer. And then really Hush killing people and then taking their tissue and shit to reconstruct his face because he's mad because he killed his parents to try to get their money and mad it didn't work out. He might have to go too, but you can think about that. Professor Pig might have to go, you know, but everyone else, like, you know, like between like Riddler, Two-Face, Rage, these people are kind of victims of mental breakdowns and shit. Clayface, you know, unfortunate things. So they don't need to die. But there's a certain ones that need to go. That's why I land on no kill rule. Here's where it's different with Mark. With Mark, when he killed Angstrom, or thought he killed Angstrom, the thing is, and people were like, you soft ass nigga, why are you crying? He threatened your mom, he was doing all this other shit. Or, you know, not even threatened, he hurt his mom and his little brother. This is the problem with Mark. With Mark doing the kill the first time, and then we're gonna fast forward to episode 7 of season 3 and the difference between the two. He was breaking down about him killing Angstrom the first time because he lost control. He lost control, his emotions overtook him, and he could have been stopped a long time ago, and he just kept on wailing on him because he lost control. If Mark loses control of his emotions because of how strong he is, that's not the same as Rexplode losing his control. That's not the same as Rudy or Black Samson losing control. They can still potentially kill someone, definitely kill someone, definitely fuck some shit up, a lot of damage, but not to the degree and the planetary level and with the quickness that Mark can. So with him, it's like, yeah, he wanted to kill him and everything, but he did not make a distinct and calculated decision that he needed to die because there was no other way. He just lost control, and that's why he's like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because then if you don't have control, you don't know what else can come out. And Angstrom already told him he's evil in every other dimension. So now he's already questioning himself. And now he's questioning himself further of, oh my God, this shit is in me. You know, so that's the issue. Now, when we fast forward to season 3, episode 7, when Angstrom came back and he had Angstrom hemmed up by the neck and Oliver told him to kill him. Oliver pissed me off. We'll get to him later. But he was like, yo, he's just going to go do it again. By this point, when he's acclimated with Angstrom, Angstrom has caused planetary level damage. It's not just personal with his mom and his little brother anymore. He's caused planetary, damn near planetary ending level damage and death and casualties. Adam Eve almost got killed, and we've seen him. He's just going to leave to another. Oh my God, I spit everything. My fault. I'm so sorry. But he's just going to leave to another dimension, and who's to say he won't come back with an army of fucking battle beasts or something, you know? So he made a calculated decision. He sat there and thought about it. He's like, you're right. This is the only way. He didn't get to kill him, but he was going to kill him. That's different. Where he's like, I actually have no choice right now. Because you can't lock him up. Because any prison like, it's not like the Maulers. You can lock up the Maulers. You can lock up Powerplex. You can lock up even Doc Seismic. You know, he found his way to manipulate shit. But you can lock him up and generally hold him. Someone who can just teleport, unless y'all have anti-teleportation technology, which we have not seen. You know, it's definitely possible, but we haven't seen it. Unless you have that in a way to keep him at bay, then what are we going to do? So, yeah, he made a calculated decision to kill him. That's why I land on the no-kill rule. The second time around, I'm like, okay, yeah. The first time around, I was like, I can see why he's tripping out. Now, the other thing that I want to get to before I forget, is the futures. The future timelines we're seeing. And actually, no, before that, Angstrom, and they haven't explicitly said this, but I think with Angstrom, in Angstrom's mind, he's kind of right. That not with the planetary damage or anything. Season 3, he went overboard. But trying to kill Mark, and at first, I had to think about it, because at first, I'm like, you stupid as shit. Because if this is the one dimension where he's good, why would you want to kill him and take him out? Right? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And why would you drive him, just push him over the edge? But at the same time, if I'm Angstrom, in every dimension I've ever been to, you're evil, and it's all in different ways and for different reasons, honestly, I would kill that Mark before he gets the chance to be evil. Because if every dimension isn't the same, and in the fact that we've seen different outfits, some of them he joins the Viltrum Empire, some of them they said he killed his father, some of them he's just a fucking dickhead. You don't know if in this one maybe he starts off as a hero, defies his dad in the Viltrum Empire, and maybe he just gets tired of humanity after a while and says, fuck it, I'm conquering. So I'd be like, I don't even want to leave this up to chance. This nigga has to go. So that was something else that was in the back of my mind of like, maybe he feels that way too. And in which case, he's not crazy, right? Morally speaking, being right, no, he's not right. But as far as logically, that's not crazy. He's not wrong. So yeah, there's that. Now, the future realities in season 2, episode 8. I thought you were stronger. When they get him out of where Angstrom had trapped him in that desert wasteland, it looks like the Void from Deadpool and Wolverine. It was the Guardians. So I think it was the old version. The older version of Eve who told Mark that she loved him. Excuse me. Robot, and I want to say that I think it was Bulletproof was with them. When Robot took the helmet off and spoke, she said, Adam Eve said, "Shut up, Rex." Right? So at first, when I saw it look like Rex, I was like, well, that makes sense because Rudy is a Rex clone, so he would grow up to look like Rex. But when she called him Rex, I was like, that's weird. Now fast forward to season 3, episode 8, at Rex's funeral, Rudy said he's changing his name from Rudy to Rex. So that tells me that, and they also said to him, the future they come from is not a good one. So, but they never specified what happened. So in my mind, I'm like, we could be moving towards whatever apocalyptic or catastrophic future they're from, because that's one step that matches. So at first I thought maybe Rudy died and Rex took up the mantle of Robot. No, Rex died and Rudy took up Rex's name. So, but that would never happen if Rex didn't die. So I wonder, did Rexplode die in their future? And is Rexplode's death like a canon event, or like an event that, in the ripple effect that helps lead to whatever future they're talking about? So that's in the back of my mind right now too. You know what I'm saying? So that was something to keep in mind. And then how does that connect to the future where Immortal was ruling the world? Because is that the future of their future? Like, is that the same timeline? Is that a different timeline? Because Fight Master and I forgot other dude's name. Fight Master's a fire name, by the way. They said they didn't even know what a Viltrumite was. So I feel like if Adam, Eve, and Rex are still alive, then a Viltrumite is still something that's known. So they had to been long gone. Like long gone dead, and the fact that the Immortal didn't even remember who Kate was. So just those, so if Kate's dead, then they're definitely long gone dead as well. So if that happens, we can assume this has to be at least like 50 years into the future. And on top of that, Fight Master and other dudes said that Immortal was ruling the world before they were even born, and they were born into it, and they got to be in their 20s at least. So let's say, to be safe, like this is like 50 years past that, and they don't even know what a Viltrumite is. So that means that could potentially be part of the same future that Adam, Eve, and them came from, where they rescued Mark. So I'm keeping all that shit back here as I'm about to move through season 4 and whatever other future seasons they make. So that's my mind. Now, the other thing that's just a specific topic that I want to talk about is Cecil and Mark. Mark has pissed me off that whole third season, and that's going to be a whole separate thing. But Cecil is 1,000,000% correct. He is 1,000,000% correct. Mark is too. I don't want to say he's stubborn. Arrogance not the word, because arrogance kind of is a synonym of confidence, and he's not confident in himself at all, for real, like at least not enough, like in tough situations, right? But he's so naive and reckless, and he won't, and short-sighted really is the word I would use. And Cecil made a great point. He's like, so you go help out your murdering dad and everything, right? Which was the morally correct thing to do at the time, right? But then he says, God forbid anyone else fucks up and tries to atone for their mistakes, right? Now, granted, he can't beat Omni-Man, but you didn't step to him. You didn't fight him. You didn't say, I'm taking you to jail. I don't care you have a kid or anything now, right? But you did the morally correct thing and helped him, helped him and the Traxans, But when Darkwing and Sinclair save you, and really just Cecil save you, even though they did terrible things, you don't give them the benefit of the doubt. And not even the benefit of the doubt, they're good people now, but like, accept that, yeah, they helped you, you know what I'm saying? And, and God forbid that anyone else makes a mistake and tries to do anything good about it. So that's something where it's like, yeah, you're way too short-sighted. And then the Guardians, so Cecil's 100% right when he says that, yeah, you don't waste talent, you use it. If they are useful, right, especially like Sinclair, if they are useful in this way, then yes, use that to your advantage. You saw them hurt Mark, and you saw them actually slow down Omni-Man for a while. You use that. Same thing with the giant fucking kaiju in season 1. We saw all the things he was collecting to use things. Yes, use it. Because would you rather be up shit's creek without a fucking paddle? I don't think I would, so I don't know what you got going on. But yeah, so Cecil, Mark then threatening Cecil was crazy. And then just, once again, just not fucking listening to anything he has to say. Like, they're criminals, they're murderers, they work for you, you gave them a job. That shit pissed me off too, but I'm gonna get to it later. But then the thing where Cecil put the weapon inside of his head, and then Mark was like, you put a weapon inside me? He's like, with the things you can do, and with what your father did, you are damn right I did that. And I hoped I would never have to use it. You feel me? So that's, Cecil's right. You might not feel comfortable with it, like it, because then it's like, well, where's the checks and balance for you? You feel me? Like, you have the complete control panel over everything. There's no weapon on you or no failsafe on you. There's no does Donald have, a bomb placed in you? So I can see someone maybe feeling that way. But the thing is, Mark, you are a planetary threat. Whether you like that shit or not, you are a planetary fucking threat. Yes. And it's really the whole thing with Batman having the contingency plans for the Justice League. And Superman's like, well, none of us would ever do that. He's like, okay, you can succumb to mind control. You can be showed an illusion. You can do this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? Or accidents happen. Whatever the fuck happens. We need to have places, like things put in place in case that shit happens. And in case, once again, someone does go rogue. You feel me? Even in, I don't know if it's connected to the Justice League cartoon, but you remember the Etrigan episodes where I forget what her name is, but the woman who tricked Etrigan, centuries ago, she was showing Martian Manhunter illusions of his Mars family still being alive and accepting them. He was fighting off the Justice League to try to help her. Damn, is it Madame LaFay? It's something like that. I forget her name. But it's like, yeah, that can happen. You feel me? Like, shit like that can happen, bro. We need to have shit in place in case that happens. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, but Mark... So, now let's get on to this. Mark and the Guardians both pissed me off. So, now that I've established Cecil is right. Now, Cecil could have handled it better and explained to the Guardians what was going on so that they didn't try to fight. Like, they didn't feel the way they felt. But either way, this is what pissed me off. It is Monster Girl, Rex, and Shrinking Ray. Them niggas, y'all niggas stupid. Monster Girl talking about, if Cecil did that to Mark, who's to say he won't do that to the rest of us? Don't fucking flatter yourselves. Because none of you, not even all of you combined, are the planetary threat that Mark is, which was proved when the alternate dimension Marks came. Who we didn't get a read on all of them, but some of them are weaker than our main Mark, our main character. Well, all of them came and ran through you motherfuckers. All of you combined are not the threat that he is. So don't flatter yourselves. We don't even need that to take you out. We would just need another superhero. Honestly. You feel me? So don't even that's not even a point of contention for y'all to say you want to go leave, calling Cecil a monster and all this other shit. And Immortal was right. He's like he finally faced consequences for not thinking rationally. And the monster girl was like, when was he supposed to think? When the robots fought him or when Cecil was frying his brain? How about the conversation that started at Cecil's desk and all the way through the fucking Pentagon? As he and the 30 warnings he gave him before the reanimin attacks him, and then the warnings he gave him before he even after he activated the switch. That's when he was supposed to think about it. You know what I'm saying? So nah, like y'all don't even understand the full story. Don't play with it. The most sensible one was Black Samson, where he's like he needs to face consequences. He needs to know what happens when you act without thinking. And also, he also said Cecil crossed the line, but we don't have all the details yet. Immortal was just getting fed up, and he's more of like a good soldier. But either way, like y'all niggas are tripping. Y'all are not that level of threat. Cecil had y'all call yourselves disposable like Cecil doesn't need you. Cecil actually needs everything he can have with the threat of the Viltrum Empire, actually. You know what I'm saying? When the last Guardians died, he did everything he could to figure out what what did it. You know what I'm saying? Like he has not. Yeah, he keeps secrets and shit. He's like Nick Fury, but I think Cecil's actually more lenient and more compassionate than Nick Fury has been historically. So I wouldn't even put that title on him for real. I damn near say he's like Batman, but just as far as like how his demeanor, and like the checks and balances and things. But yeah, the Guardians pissed me off with that shit. Like I don't, or just the ones that left, pissed me. They just really made me mad with that shit. Now Mark has been making me mad all fucking season. Number one, like the cringe-worthy awkwardness where like he was fucking up with Eve. I'm like, okay, well, shit happens. That's just gonna happen. It's gonna continue the will they won't they, and shit, whatever. The other thing is when just the short-sightedness, man. Everything after season 3, episode 2, with that shit with Cecil, it's just the short-sightedness. So with Titan, right? When Titan was explaining to him, he was like, because Invincible was like, last time I trusted you, this, that, and the third happened, which he has a right to feel that way. But Titan was also like, I fought like hell to try to help keep you alive. I said, I'm sorry. I did not want this shit to happen this way. He's like, I didn't set you up to die. He was like, because he didn't know Battle Beast and whatever the fuck was pulling up. He just wanted to help get Machine Head out of there and then run the city himself. That's really what he wanted to happen. But he was also like, I'm not going to, the survival instinct kicks in. He's like, bro, I can't stick here. If I stick around here, I'm going to die too. Or potentially die too. So, he left and did his 1-2 and did his thing. Right? So Mark didn't want to hear none of that shit, which, okay, understandable. But then when he took him through the city, and told him about Mr. Liu and the Order, and he was like, yo, can you help me take him down? Because, one, they're going to break Multipaw out of prison, so you're such a stickler for goddamn keeping the criminals in prison and shit. He's going to break him out of prison, so that's reason number one to help him. He's a city level, at least, maybe statewide threat. Because he beat Mark, let's be honest. He beat Mark. Mark got bailed the fuck out. So he's a statewide threat, at least. Probably country level threat. Another reason to help stop him. He runs a criminal organization. So that's another reason if you want to stop him, if you want to be all about justice and buy the book and shit. And then also, he gave him 50 bullet points of, yo, remember how the city looked last time you was here? Look how it looks now. You know what I'm saying? When I'm here, if they get rid of me, they'll put someone here worse than Machine Head, and it's going to be right back to where it was, or worse. And then these criminals are going to keep roaming around. Mark looked at him. First he said, no crime is legal except for yours. And Titan said, that's not how I run things. And he's proven that that's not how he runs things. But then Mark looked this nigga dead in his fucking face and said, yeah, no, I'm taking you to prison. That was it. No counterpoint. know nothing. Same shit when he was talking to Anissa. She gave him 50. Now, granted, Anissa's wrong, you know, like morally, but she gave him 50 reasons as to why he's failing Earth and why Earth needs to be under new management. This nigga looked her dead in the face and said, "At least I don't kill." Nigga, just don't say shit. Just don't say shit. Honestly, at that fucking point, don't say anything. But yeah, that shit pissed me off, right? And then even after they got rid of the dragon, he said, "I'm still taking you to prison." Like, that's all he thought about. Right, so there's that. The other case of his stubbornness is this nigga. When Fightmaster and other dudes showed up and told him that, yo, we need you, the future's in danger, it's life or death or whatever, and he said, no, I'm not gonna help you. Okay, whatever. Maybe he's like, bro, I'm tired, part of me doesn't believe you. Or, you know, either way, I'm like, you probably should have went with him. You know, because shit, you went with goddamn Nualzot to fucking threat. I mean, granted, he didn't have to fight him beforehand. He fought Fightmaster on him before. But still, you went with goddamn Nualzot in a... Well, actually, no, that's not true. Because damn, that's another case of his stubbornness. Nigga said no because you got to stay for his grades and shit. So William actually had to convince him to go. But he eventually went. So, but yeah, you don't want to go with them and shit. And then this nigga turned around and said, y'all, you need to get out of here. You're lucky I'm in a good mood, or else I would just take you to prison myself. Like, are you fucking serious, bro? Like, are you serious right now? Like, what are we doing? So I'm like, just stubborn as shit. Talking about, told Eve he's not going to ruin her date just because of this and whatever. And they had to literally force this nigga to go there. You feel me? So, yeah, there's just the stubbornness. The stubbornness of this nigga is really what's been upsetting me. And then, season 3, episodes 7 and 8, when Eve got hurt and the other marks were still out there, Cecil told him, he's like, yo, the world needs you right now. Nigga said, I don't care. And he's just sitting next to Eve's unconscious body like he's doing anything to help. Like, nigga, go help them. Just you know what I'm saying? Like, where's your common sense? Like, what are you doing? You're just being stubborn and just stupid as shit. Right? And then, even after that, when Cecil... Yeah. Here's the other fucking thing. When Cecil tried to make him a member of the Guardians and shit, and Mark was like, I made it clear I don't work for you. And then and Cecil was like, if you ever need to talk, I'm here. And he's like, you're the last person I want to talk to. He said thanks afterwards, but I don't give a fuck. But guess what? When he thought Eve died, what this nigga say? Cecil, I need you, Cecil. I'm happy Cecil didn't come help him. Because don't ask him my help now, nigga. Fuck you. Done threatening me, him me up in the air multiple times, all this other shit, want to be stubborn, all this other shit, and now is you need my help because your girl hurt. Nigga, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro, that's not how shit works. That's not how shit works at all. So, yeah, nah, Mark was upsetting me this whole season. And then the other thing he's upsetting me with is this fucking stupid shit ever since he started dating Eve of this nigga needing constant fucking reassurance. Alright. Not gonna lie to you, my phone died. So I went downstairs, got a snack, and came right back. But, yeah, the other thing he did that pissed me off was him needing this constant reassurance. And it's not the reassurance that bothers me. Because, like, you know, how he felt after he killed Angstrom, how he felt after what his dad did, you know, and then, like, questioning himself and shit like that. That doesn't bother me. Him needing that reassurance, that doesn't bother me. It's mainly in him and Eve's relationship that bothers me. So after the prison fight with Liu and the whole situation with Titan, right? He was talking about how he was essentially like, well, I just helped Titan get rid of his biggest enemy or whatever. We did all this damage and shit like that. And then Eve was like, well, if you weren't there, it would have been worse. We saved a lot of people, and you know we made a lot of money from it, or so whatever. And this nigga was talking about, well, at least you achieved something. I'm like, bro, get the fuck out my ear with that stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? And then just the whole thing of like, I don't know, man. It's just that shit. Really, just the way he acts towards Eve that bothers me. Like, always talking about Eve, no, it's too dangerous. And she has to reassure him, Mark, we're in a relationship now. That means we help each other and shit like that, right? It's like that. There was another time when he did it, when he fucked up their first date or whatever, and she's like, has to keep telling him, we know how this works, relax. Like, this was the whole point of us dating. Well, I mean, of course they have feelings for each other, but like, yo, we both understand how this is. Like, I don't think you're cheating. I don't think you don't love me or anything like that. No, like, but it's like every fucking time something happens, you got like, Mark, come on, bro. How many times do she got to tell you this shit? You know what I'm saying? So, and same shit with the dude that Debbie's dating. I'm gonna get to that, Paul. But I'm sick of Paul being like, man. Like, at first it was like, okay, he's just kind of nervous, whatever. But now I'm like, nigga, you a bitch. Like, this nigga, I don't match up with Omni Man. I don't compare to Omni Man. I can't fly or whatever. Are you sure? You know, the shit, the family dinner where he was trying to talk to Mark and them, and he was like, oh my god, I don't think I can do this, Debbie. I was like, Mark, yo, Joe, like, okay, then leave, nigga. Like, I'm not about to keep listening to you do this shit, but yeah, it's really just like the reassurance of shit that Mark be looking for from Eve, honestly. But then wants to act tough and high and mighty with everyone the fuck else. I'm like, come on, man, you tripping. And then here's the last thing. And I don't want y'all to think I don't like Mark or Invincible. Those last 2 seasons, both 10 out of 10, both peak. I know I'm kind of like complaining about shit, but I'm not complaining as in it's bad writing. Nah, I'm happy that it's even extracting this much emotion out of me. You feel me? So that's a testament to good writing, good execution, and everything. You know, it's just how I feel about the character. You know, but yeah, this is where he pissed me off. This is the last place where he pissed me off. I might need to get up on the camera for this. Mark, stop acting like shit is sweet. Stop acting like shit is sweet. And this is what I mean. Your daddy beat your ass to near death and said that Vilch is time. I'm preparing this planet for Viltrum might take over. Okay, you got rid of Omni Man. We think everything's cool. You meet up with him, and then Lucan and all the other ones. You see them put a whooping on Mark, right? And then and then eventually take his father captive. And then Krieg, is it Krieg or Craig? Whoever it is, the Clancy Brown voices. He told you, and he gave him a smooth punch and said, you will take up your father's mission and prepare the planet for our rule. If you do not, by the time we show up, then we will kill millions of humans and take over the planet ourselves. That's 3 instances. Then Anissa pulls up, almost kills your girl, and I'm going to get to that in a second, and gives you multiple reasons. Alright, phone died a second time while on the charger, so I just let it charge for a little minute, bro. But anyway, look, yeah. His dad said they're going to conquer the place. He went, what's it called? He went and met up with his dad. He said the Viltrumites are coming, and now no, he left his post. Then they whooped on him. Then Krieg, whatever his name is, gave him a warning. And here's the 4th one. Anissa pulled up, almost killed your girl, put a whooping on you, and then said, this is your last warning. And then someone worse is coming. Okay? At no point at any of those times did this nigga lock in and be like, we need to worry about this fucking empire. And Alan pulled up on him, and he was like, no, I'm busy with school, but when it's time for the real fight, let me know. When it's time for the real fight, nigga, you're dying. Like, what are we doing? And so, like, after Anissa, he was training with Cecil, and then an episode later, he gets mad at Cecil and leaves him, and he don't train no more. Like, you thought that was stopping something? And then he proceeded to start training Oliver. Like, yeah, you should do that. But, nigga, your priorities is all the way fucked up if you think you have the time to start a relationship and stop training. And then train Oliver. Like, no, bro. No. Like, that's just not how this shit works, bro. And then the last warning, which we're going to see how he reacts to this. Conquest pulls up. Whooped his ass, did more damage than his dad even did. And Eve, once again, bailed this nigga out. So I'm just like, Mark, shit ain't sweet, bro. Shit's not sweet. You need to start taking shit serious, bro. So, the Anissa situation, that brings me to him and Amber. I appreciate him and Amber's relationship. And in the fact that even though it was clear it wasn't going to work, after the whole Anissa thing, it made it, when Amber said, I can't be a part of your world, but I tried, I really did, it made it feel genuine. Of like, there was a point where we were just kind of waiting for him to break up, because like this, we know this is not going to work. But it did make it feel like, yeah, they really did try. You know, like, the whole thing of her accepting the situation, Mark trying to be better, Mark trying to commit more to the college. But then, after that near-death experience, and then him getting the schedule where he takes days off and shit like that. Everything was cool, you know, but once Anissa pulled up, and let me say that's the craziest. That's the craziest pull up I've ever seen in my life. That's a KD pull up. That's a Jordan Kobe pull up. Nigga, he was chuckling, looked down for half a second, and Anissa goes, Mark Grayson, and she's just there. Like, that shit was crazy, bro. Amber, it was almost over for Amber. But I do like the dynamic of him, like, feeling like he was feeling Amber, because I like the line of him saying he's doing to her exactly what Nolan did to him and his mom. You know, he doesn't want to put someone else through that. So I was like, I understand. I definitely do understand, but it's like, yeah, it wasn't going to work out. I'm happy that he's with Eve now. I'm happy it moved along in a timely manner and shit. But I'm damn near like, man, free Eve, because this nigga, no social awareness. They at Rex's fucking funeral. This nigga smiling there talking about, it's just that I thought I almost lost you. I'm like, nigga, today ain't about you. Today ain't about you, bro. It's about Rex. Like, like what are we doing here, man? So yeah, that all that shit is, yeah. Now to move on to the shit with the coalition, the planets, and Alan. At first, man, when I thought Alan got smoked, that shit hurt my heart. I was like, not my dog, Alan. And then other dude, Thetis. Excuse me. When Thetis turned off his life support machine, I thought it was a snake. That was a great and amazing plot twist that he is a Viltrumite and he was actually the first, or I think he said at least one of the first, to turn against the Empire. So I was like, oh shit, okay. Okay, so it is more of them out there who would do that. And that was just a great twist in that, you know, he knew that Alan would either die or evolve, you know. So I was like, okay, so he's not a villain. He actually is still still a good guy. But you see the difference in maturity, where Cecil did something questionable. In my mind, it's not even questionable, but did something questionable, and Mark crashed out and did all the other shit. And then Thetis did something questionable, explained himself, more questionable. He's actually gambled with Alan's life when he wasn't even, when he was barely conscious. But Alan was like, oh shit, you're right. Well, thank you, it worked out. Now what's the mission? You understand? There's the difference in maturity, you know what I'm saying? And how we gonna move shit along. Oh, and here's the other thing. Let me just circle back to why I also have an issue with Mark crashing out. It's the way that they tried to spin this shit. And then, like, he was like, so Sinclair killed all these people, experimented on Rick, and, you know, did that shit to William and whatever, and you just gave him a job? I'm like, oh my god, like, the lack of comprehension. Like, they say gave him a job, like, he's posted up in Costa Rica, just chilling, you know. He's like, now he lets Sinclair do whatever he wants. I'm like, this nigga's locked in the basement of the Pentagon, with his only purpose being working on machines for us to use. He's essentially a slave at this point. He's like, this is free labor. They're not giving him a salary. He's not out and about chilling, you know what I'm saying, in a mansion or whatever with a family or whatever. I mean, apparently there was a girl, I think they showed at the end, that he might have a love interest with. But nah, he's just down there constantly working in a lab. That's not the same as it gave him a job. No, like, you know, that's not how it works. And then they tried to pander to people's emotions by then showing us how it affected Rick and William. Respectfully, I don't give a fuck. Like, I really don't care. Like, 'cause in the grand scheme of things, of every superhero on Earth would have been dead. And then what we doing when the Viltrum might show up? I don't give. So you think Rick or William's feelings for that matter, and Mark or any of you motherfuckers' feelings, it matters to me at that point? No, it doesn't. Like, in the grand scheme of things, no, it doesn't, bro. And then with Darkwing, it's like Cecil said, it was like he spent years in a cursed city after his mentor died, and then he slowly broke down mentally, and now we have helped rehabilitate him. That's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so him being out and about, I feel like, okay, yeah, give him a chance to redeem himself, you know. So that's also an entirely different situation. That was just a circle back to that shit. But yeah, the whole shit with the coalition, and then what Mark found in his dad's books of the multiple things that can hurt Viltrumites. Yeah, Space Racer, that shit is tough. He's like, I want to say Lobo, but like, you know, like Lobo or Ghost Rider or something. You know, I guess maybe even Silver Surfer. But I mean, Silver Surfer has the power to destroy a star and damn near a solar system, but not in a weapon. It's just in him. So I don't even know, and we haven't heard him speak or know his personality to know what he actually emulates or what character he mirrors or, what archetype he falls under. But I'm like, that's just a dope thing, that infinity ray. The same thing with the Ragnars, I think they were called, the creatures that were just in that super dense planet and got crazy strength. I feel like there's something that I'm not thinking of that actually does is similar to that, but I can't think of it. But I like that also they showed the effectiveness of how density does affect them, because when Eve was fighting Conquest and she increased the density of the air, he fought through it, but it gave him trouble for a little second. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's something that could be a weakness of Viltrumites, is like certain air densities and shit like that. So I'm like, that was tough. But yeah, I just can't wait to see. Right now, my main focus, as much as I'm invested in everything, honestly. Like, I'm invested in Titan's story. I was invested in Shrinking Ray and Rex. I'm invested in, Rudy fixing Monster Girl. That was a sweet moment. I'm invested in Debbie. I'm Debbie's the character I'm the most emotionally attached to. You know what I'm saying? But I'm interested in that. I'm interested in what Battle Beast is going to do next. I'm interested in what Angstrom's going to do next. But out of all that shit, my most, and maybe it's because we haven't seen them as a whole for a while. But what I'm most interested in right now is, what is the coalition going to do? Like, what are Nolan, and I'm gonna get to their sequence, but what are Nolan and Alan going to do? How are they going to take this back to Thetis? Are we going to, I don't know, mind control or some Ragnars to help us? Are we going to be able to find Space Racer? Because Alan said no one knows if he actually exists. So I'm like, are we going to recruit Space Racer? What are we going to do here? Because there was also a character on the Coalition Council that looked like a member of Battle Beast's race. So I wonder, is Battle Beast's race that powerful? Or is Battle Beast just like that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, are we going to get some more of their people? And shit. So I'm just really, really, really curious about that shit. Honestly. So yeah, that's really like where my mind is at. What else did I say? Conquest is a fucking badass, bro. That whole speech he gave Mark was crazy, but he was just so villainous and just so ruthless and shit like that. Nigga said, the truth is, I want you to resist. I'm like, oh lord. Yeah, hey, Mark, is over for you, bro. It's nothing to do. It's nothing you can do here. But yeah, I want to see him versus Battle Beast, man. Man, yo, when Alan freed Battle Beast, I was just so hyped. I love characters like that, and I think I've said that on here before. Is as much as like a Doctor Doom and Magneto and like Silver Surfer, Strange, like super philosophical and deep and complex characters. As much as I love those, I am a sucker for a character who's just like, man, get these hands. I want the most worthy opponent. I just want to fight. I love that. I love Goldberg in WWE. I love Akuma. I haven't even watched Baki, but I already love Yujiro. I love shit like that. So Battle Beast saying, man, if this conflict, I will savor this conflict, and if it brings about the end of my life, I will savor it more. He said, oh my, I'm like, oh my god, it's a real nigga, boy. Ready, man. The soundtrack to his life is Ready to Die by Big, real shit. So yeah, but yeah, I'm excited to see, because some people saved him, and I'm guessing Battle Beast is about to fucking kill him. So there's that. But yeah, I'm excited to see like what's gonna happen with Battle Beast, if he's gonna return to Earth. I wouldn't mind seeing more of the Order, with Machine Head at the helm, and then they just revive Liu. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. But I do kind of want to know more about the characters at that round table. Machine Head's just fucking hilarious, so I wouldn't mind seeing more of them. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's still a lot of moving pieces, and like, yeah, I haven't watched season 4 yet, but some people thought that was the last season. I'm like, with the amount of subplots and things going on, there's no way that's the last season. Like, this show can go on. I can see this show going on for like 7 seasons, like somewhere between 7 and 9 seasons, probably, like, and keep up the same pace. Well, granted, in a superhero universe, there is no way to actually wrap up everything. Like, where, okay, the planet saved, especially when you build out a universe. Like, it's one thing if you build out a it's different. Like, Star Wars built out universe is just really the Sith, and then everything else, like bounty hunters and shit, that's just kind of part of the ecosystem. But as far as like a direct thing, there's the Sith and the Empire. So you can destroy the Sith and the Empire and then say, okay, well, all is peaceful, at least is in the form of dictatorial oppression, right? But in a superhero universe where there's just people all around with powers, random kaijus and sea monsters showing up, then we have different planets, different cultures, different species and shit. It will never be a complete ceasefire. So there is, no matter what, there is no way to fully wrap this shit up. You know, at least in my mind, you can just kind of, if you want to just end it with stopping the Viltrumites, then that's how you would wrap it up. But if you want to just keep it going, they really could milk this for a long time, and I wouldn't be mad at it at all. But I'm trying to think if there's any other talking points or anything else that I missed that I do want to talk about. Give me one little second. Yeah, I guess everything else really is just like little stuff that I liked, and just other things that are being set up, like Alan having to convince Nolan. I just liked it. I like that everything in this show, it feels earned, but it still doesn't feel dragged out. You know, like Amber and Mark tried their best, right? You know, and that actual breakup, it like, you know, the like, damn, bro, that's fucked up. It felt earned, you know, where I wasn't hurt because I knew it was going to end, but it still made me feel like, damn, I'm kind of mad that, you know, it had to go out like this because they really did their due diligence to try to fix shit. Him and Eve, the tension was always there, even when the other ones were dating, and there was a little hiccup. So, but it moved in a timely manner. I didn't have a will they, won't they for so long, right? So it felt earned, but still satisfying. And same thing with Nolan. Like Nolan joining Alan, it felt earned. It took a long time. He was ready to die, accept his death, and everything else. So, you know, nothing in here feels super rushed or abrupt, you know. So I appreciate all of that. Excuse me. I'm excited to see what's going on with Damien Darkblood, because he said he found a new host for the devil or whoever the fuck he was talking to, and he said someone with a black heart or some shit like that. I wonder if it's Mark, if Mark slowly turned into the dark side, so to speak, or if he's talking about Conquest, or if it's a character we haven't met yet. So I'm not sure, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure about that, but I am interested to see what that's going to be and how that's going to work out. Damn, I don't even know really how much more there is. Just once again, great world building. Oliver, it ain't much to say. Oliver pissed me off. I'm mad he killed the Maulers. I hope you get some alternate dimension Maulers, because they were up there as my favorite characters. They were just so dope and just good, like, you know, not villain of the week, but, you know, they can just go around and do shit. And it felt like they also had a purpose. Like, they were just the smartest characters, I think, in this universe so far that we've met. So I'm like, yeah, I just wanted more of them. Like, there was just so much you could do with them, and then they were just so fun. But there's other shit going around, like the mummy that the two girls tried to become a host for or whatever. I'm like, I wonder if someone else is going to tap into that, or if the whole setup for that was just for that comedic thing. But one of those girls has power. She has strength. So I'm like, are we going to get more of her? Figure out who she is. Other thing I forgot to mention is Powerplex. That nigga was tripping. I ain't gonna lie, like that. I don't feel bad for that nigga at all. That nigga was tripping. I feel bad for the poor wife and kid who had to die because of this nigga. But I'm like, man, get your stupid ass. Yeah, but you know what? But here's what I appreciate. I appreciate the consistency, the amount of on-siteness that this nigga has. When he saw the other version of Mark, he went after him. He was like, all you niggas have to go. When Mark showed up to help with the cleanup, this nigga Powerplex immediately shot at him. Does it make sense? No. But god damn it, do I gotta respect the hating. I just gotta respect a certain level of ignorance. So, so yeah, I fuck with him. Not as in like he's right, like he's stupid as shit, he's wrong. But I fuck with his placement and his purpose. You know what I'm saying? Just that being a character floating around, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing, man. If you're gonna do real deal world building and shit, it's like I should not like or relate to every character. Because in the real world, I don't like or relate to everyone. So like, why would it be different just because they have powers or just because it's being written by people? Like, nah, it should be someone in here where I'm like, nigga, you're fucking stupid. You know? And it works. You know, but I'm a nigga where like, that doesn't... I had to learn this from wrestling. Because really, like, in wrestling, I started appreciating the bad guys. I remember as a kid when Paul Heyman used to talk, I would literally mute the TV. And now I speak with them. Because I'm like, yo, anyone who can extract that amount of emotion out of me and make me actually care, that means you're doing your job, you know. So yeah, there's all that. But yeah, man, that's really it. If I had to, cause I don't be giving scores for real, cause yeah, but honestly, like out of 10, I would give this like the last. I give season 2 like an 8.5, and I'll give season 3 I think a 9.5. Honestly, they were just both so good. And yeah, I just you know, there's so many moving pieces, so much shit going around. I just can't wait to see what season 4 is. And actually, I will not wait. Now that I've recorded this, I'm going to watch this shit probably tonight or at some point this weekend. So yeah, man. But yeah, man. Y'all gonna see me in this fit again. I'm about to record a Supergirl review. I watched Supergirl a little while ago as well. So that was something else I needed to record that I was procrastinating on. So, but yeah, man. Yeah, I got more ideas, and you know, I got more shit to, you know, review, talk about, ideas to get out there. Been playing college football. I got a lot of shit to talk about, man. So, yep, it's been a month. Took a break, doing a lot of music, and life just been hitting, procrastinating and shit. So, but yeah, I'm back on this, man. So, you know, I guess let me know like between season 2 or 3, or if you want to do both, just what your favorite moment from the shit was. You know what I'm saying? Your favorite characters and everything. If you read the comic book, because that's one other thing that was interesting when I started watching season 2, I saw maybe it was in the comments and reaction videos or something, but they were like, most people agree that season 2 of Invincible is better than the line of comics that actually followed. And I was like, that's interesting, because 90% of the time, bro, when it comes to shit, usually the original source material is considered way better than the adaptation or the retelling. So I was like, this is like one of the first times I've heard that. So yeah, I'm like that's definitely super interesting. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go and get out of here, record some more shit, man.